Hello, my name is Ratna Mariam. I am from State University of Jakarta, Indonesia. And in this video, I'm going to show you one of my paper. It's a literature review about realistic mathematics education in digital technology-aided learning. So the reason behind why did I do this literature review is because Indonesia has just begun a new evaluation method. It's minimum competency assessment, and it measures students' numeracy. And numeracy is still quite new for teachers, and so teachers need to know what is numeracy and how to develop learning, to design learning which support numeracy. According to Goose, there are 4 dimensions of numeracy. It's context, tools, mathematical knowledge, and disposition. In this paper, I discussed 2 of them, context and tools. So context is anything that close to children, to students, or anything that can be imagined by students. So context is closely related to realistic mathematics education. And tools can be physical tools such as a ruler or coordinate like grid paper, or can be digital such as calculator or GeoGebra, or can also be representation such as number line and table. So by using these two, the realistic mathematics education and digital technology, it is interesting to see how far the 2 variables have been using in classroom. So in this paper, I tried to answer 2 questions. First, what's the trend of the development, the implementation, and the utilization of digital technology in learning employing RME? And I also tried to find how is the manifestation of RME in digital technology-aided learning. To do so, this literature review conducted. The first step is to find in search engines such as Springer, IEEE, IGI, and Elsevier by using defined searching process. So I use some keywords and try the other keywords such as realistic mathematics education, and then technology, and then digital technology. And then after that, I sort out the papers. And after that, to analyze the papers, I use 7 questions for guidelines. First, what level of school is the research conducted? I want to know where, in what level most of the most use of RME and technology. And then what is the purpose of the intervention? What for is it? What for the learning is? And then what kind of digital technology was used? The type of tools that is being used, and then what is the use of digital intervention? And then also the roles in mathematics learning, so in general and in mathematics learning. And then how do teachers adopt the technology into the intervention? And the last one, how do the implementation of RME in the intervention? By doing the method, yield 15 articles, some of it from journals, some of it from proceeding, and also from books. All are internationally accepted. So these 15 papers has been analyzed based on the 7 questions as guidelines. And I compare by 2 variables, by 2 aspects. First, comparing the learning stage and the aim of intervention. The learning stage, there are 5. It's kindergarten, primary, lower secondary, upper secondary, and higher education. For the aim of intervention, there are 4. First, in the change in attitude, such as the learning aims for motivation and improved performance. This aim can be identified by pre and post tests in the paper, and then development of conceptual understanding can be seen from the process in the paper, and the skills focus can be identified by an aim such to improve, maybe like to develop problem solving skills or creativity skills, such that. And it can be seen that most of the research, most of the learning conducted in higher education or in university level. This might due because in university level, most of it use flipped classroom, which means the use of technology is inevitable. So the lecturers might use the technology for presentations, and the students use for learning at home. But in the kindergarten and the upper secondary, they are equally by one research. And for the upper secondary, it covers all the 4 aims of the intervention. It all appears in the paper. But for the kindergarten, it covers 2 aims, that is to develop conceptual understanding and the skill focus. For the primary and lower secondary, they are equally in number, but a little different in the aim of intervention. Such for the lower secondary, there's a few that use skill focus. But it might be that some one paper aiming for more than one aim of intervention. So after that, I also try to compare how do the learning stage affected the use of technology in general learning. And for the use in the general learning, there are 5. First is for learning. So the technology helps students to learn by themselves. For example, like a learning video, like an application they can use. And also for gathering data and analysis. In here, technology can be used for gathering data such as survey, such as measurements, analysis such as spreadsheet to analyze the data. Or it can be used to communication or collaboration and sharing. For example, the technology such as mails or maybe WhatsApp or maybe Zoom, it can be used to communication. Or maybe the content creation such as PowerPoint or Canva, the technology can be used to content creation. And the last one is for assessment. For example, teachers can use Google Form or any other likely platform. And it can be seen for the higher education. It's equally used for learning and content creation, as we have discussed before. So most of the learning use digital technology generally to students for learning and for teachers or lecturers to develop learning video. But for the upper secondary, the digital technology used only to gathering data and analysis. This can happen when the learning is a project-based learning. So the students use software analyzes data, and so the software analyzes the video, and the video can be traced by using tracker, and the data can be analyzed using spreadsheet. All the use of multiple softwares. It also utilizing technology. But for the lower secondary, no research use the technology to gathering data and analysis, but equally for content creation and learning, and some of it for assessment. But as we can see, none of the research use technology for communication and collaboration. This might be because the paper included are not yet in the 2020. That means are not yet conducted in full online learning. So even the higher education use flipped classroom. It's not for communication. The technology is not for communication. The technology was used for learning. So it's just one way, like the students use to learn by themselves. And then it also compares to find if there is any relationship between the roles of technology in math learning and the aim of intervention. So now the roles of technology is narrowed down to math learning. There are 4 roles of technology in mathematics learning. First, it's to promote cycles of proof. So technology helps the students to show proof to to make conjectures and prove their projections, and to present and connect multiple representations, such as there's a functions algebraically, and there's a curve, so graphically. So it represents multiple representation. And technology can also be used to support case-based reasoning. For example, it's a little quite similar to the cycles of proof, but in support case-based reasoning, it's mostly in project-based learning. And for the last role is technology as tutee, meaning the students as tutor. So the student have to teach the technology. For example, it's Bellas, the research by Bellas et al. They develop a learning by using robotics. So the students, it's about symmetric in shapes. So the students have to program the robots so the robots can move in path like a diamond. The students can use either it's going to the right or it's going to the left. Somehow it teaches the students that whichever path the students choose, it's the same. So the teachers, the students have to teach the robot to move in diamond shape, diamond path. And it can be seen the role of tutee is the small portion because it requires students comprehensive understanding in math and also in the technology. So it's quite a job to develop learning which roles as tutee. But to develop conceptual understanding, the technology can be used as support case-based reasoning. So by using trial and improve, the students use digital technology to support their reasoning. It can be presented in the way of learning media where students can do input, drag and drop, so they can explore in the media itself. And and to skill focus, list of the research use it to connect multiple representation. For this, most of the research that use present and multiple representation is to develop conceptual understanding because it's in line with the support case-based reasoning. So it's simultaneously, so the technology used simultaneously for support, also by presenting and connecting multiple representations. And from all the review, we also find that the good use of digital technology in math learning can happen when it is used as exploration, inquiry, and in collaboration learning. And these three aligns to principles of RME. First is the phenomenological exploration. And in digital technology, from the review, we can say that there are 5 types of exploration that can be used. It can be used in the real life context to explore, or by doing projects to explore, and by using a made-up story, like the one that student can imagine or can relate, and the mathematical problems directly. It's usually for the higher education. And also for learning to do inquiry. So the students find the concept by their own. The students construct and produce their own understanding by doing input and drag and drop, and then slider, and by using objects around them, and by using multiple supporting softwares. This activity can be packaged in a media or like an application or a website, or can be done offline in a project-based learning. And so the learning can be designed in a collaboration learning, whether it's online or offline, or even blended learning. So by using these two, RME and digital technology, in a setting of collaboration, hopefully it can be developed students' numeracy. And for the future research, more research should be conducted to see the effect of each type of digital technology and in a specific numeracy test. So that's it for my presentation about my paper. Thank you for watching.